All right, so we all know how it goes. New year, new goals, but also new excuses on why not to pursue those goals. For the longest time, I put off my goal of starting a podcast because, well, I was intimidated. I wasn't sure how to do anything. I wasn't sure if I wanted to invest the time in doing it, and I certainly didn't want to pay other people to do that stuff for me. Luckily, I came across Spotify for Podcasters, which calmed my nerves as they allowed me to do everything from recording to editing to scheduling and even monetizing my podcast from a single place with literally a click of a few buttons. Seriously, how do you think I crank out 3 episodes a week with such ease? Another cool thing is that they allow me to interact with you guys, which gives me awesome ideas for new episodes and feedback on what you like the request to do more video episodes, right? Best of all, they do it for free. So if you're someone that wants to get a podcast started, but perhaps we're a little intimidated like myself, trust me when I say, just go for it and get started today by either downloading the Spotify for Podcasters app or going to www.spotify.com/podcasters. Trust me, you won't regret it. Hey guys, Akil here. Welcome back to the Trading Coach Podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you how I pulled myself out of a really dark place in trading and a really dark place in my life as well. And also talk about mistakes, right? As traders, we are human beings. It's going to be impossible to eliminate all of our mistakes. But today we're going to talk about which mistakes you should eliminate and which mistakes can kind of hang around a little bit. So for this situation, personally for me, I need a confirmation of the breakout, higher high, higher close, and then I'll have to hope for a pullback trade. Paul says, okay, it's in your rules. Of course. I will never do anything outside of my rules, Paul. That is one thing you will never see me do. I will sit here and watch stuff go and I will get mad. I will make mistakes from time to time. I'll miscalculate the ATR, or maybe I might rush something and it's a higher high, higher close and I don't notice it, right? And that's just a natural trading mistake. It's not good, but it's a trading mistake. But one thing you'll never see me do, and I am scared to death. This is the thing. I am scared to death of doing this because I know where it leads me because I've done it before. I will never break my rules. I will never purposely break my rules. Meaning I will never see something and be like, I'm supposed to wait for this, but I'm gonna do this anyway because I've experienced enough pain doing that to know that it is not worth it. It is not worth it, and I've been to some dark places in my trading. Where I have completely given up and I am filling out resumes and, buying a new pair of Dockers and button-up shirts and ties and getting ready to go hate my life from 8 hours a day. Some dark, dark places that were so scary that I never want to return again. And that fear keeps me disciplined. It's kind of like we were talking in the barbershop the other day. There's a guy in there talking about how he's got 2 daughters, I guess, and his oldest daughter did something bad once, and she got the belt. And the older daughter saw years later. The older daughter saw the younger daughter about to do something really, really bad, and the older daughter told the younger daughter, "said You don't want to do that." And the younger daughter was like, "Why?" And she's like, "Trust me, you don't want to do that." And she told her what happened to her. And then the younger daughter got scared straight. Like, oh, I'm not doing it. So there comes a time where you experience enough pain and fear of pain that there's only one option. Avoid that pain at all costs. And ultimately, that's the shift we have to make as traders, right? You always hear us talk about the term process over outcome, right? Process over outcome is a term you always hear us spit around, and that means that, understand there are 4 types of trades. There are winning trades, there are losing trades, there are good trades, and there are bad trades, right? Winning trades aren't necessarily good trades, losing trades aren't necessarily bad trades, but that's how we typically think about things, right? Because everything else in life, right, if we take a test and we get the answer wrong, it's bad. If we get it right, it's right. Right, we judge ourselves off of kind of the outcome, the result. Right, if you win a game, it's good. If you lose a game, it's bad. Right, that's how we think about things. In all honesty, like you look at, this past week, Luton Town almost beat Liverpool. Liverpool ended up, I think, in stoppage time tying it up, and my son was watching. He was like, "Oh, they're gonna be so mad. They're gonna be disappointed." I'm like, "Yeah, they are, but like, it's still a win." Because Luton Town has their starting lineup is worth $10 million on salary. Liverpool's is worth $66 million. If you ever watch Luton Town, they play in like someone's backyard, right? So just to tie like one of the best teams in the Premier League, it's a win for them. It's a win for their fans, even though the result sets a tie, and it's a little bit disappointing. Same thing with Everton. Everton was beating Brighton, and we allowed an own goal at the end of the game, hit off someone's hip and went in. Dallas Cowboys, well, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. That's a different story against the Eagles. But there are moral victories. But in trading, we need to shift the pain and pleasure, because that's what drives us in life for everything. The pain and pleasure shouldn't be from winning and losing, right? Winning shouldn't bring us. It's going to bring us pleasure. Don't get me wrong. So I'm not an absolutist. It's not. I'd be lying if I said like I don't get happy when I win and make money. Of course I do, right? Let's just be real here, right? But what I value more than winning is following the process, taking a good trade. What I value more than, or what I fear more than losing, or what hurts me more than losing, is taking a bad trade. And the fear that I have in my heart at this point in my trading career, has been like this for many, many years, ever since I became successful. The fear I have is from taking bad trades. Because I know that I can do everything right, and it's a game of probability. I'm going to lose, right? You can have the perfect trade set up 10 times. We can have the pound yen or the pound Aussie set up from yesterday, right? Which I said was a perfect trade setup in my opinion, right? If we got that 10 times, would we win all 10 times? No, right? There are going to be losers in there, right? Double tops that structure don't win all the time. No strategy does. So we shouldn't judge ourselves off of the result. Because what if you're a newer trader, instead of the first time, right? You're a newer trader, you came in the room yesterday, you saw that awesome trade. And you're like, man, that is what a good trade looks like. And then but what if today was your first day and we saw that same exact trade and it lost? Now you're probably thinking, oh, double top stink. This stuff doesn't work. This guy's a fraud, right? One time doesn't tell us anything. It's all about the bigger picture. This is why we don't grade ourselves on trading days or trading weeks. We grade ourselves on trading months, trading quarters, trading years, because you need time for those edges and probabilities to play out. And when you understand that you can do everything right and win. You can do everything wrong and lose. So what's going to allow those probabilities to play out? Consistently taking good trades, consistently avoiding bad trades. And when you start doing, if you're something like my situation, when you start doing kind of your audit on your trading and you see that, well, you lost a lot of money, mainly from doing dumb stuff, it really starts to hit home that, man, the dumb stuff is what kills you as a trader. It's not the normal losses. It's the stupid stuff that you keep doing. And that stupid stuff adds up, man. It's like someone trying to get their personal finances together and they keep stopping at the local store, spending $5 a day on Gatorades and dark chocolate Milky Ways and Baby Bell cheeses. I know a guy that did that. And then you realize that $5 a day, you're spending $200 a month on Gatorades, dark chocolate Milky Ways, and Baby Bell cheeses. And then you're wondering, how come your financial situation is a wreck? Because you're spending it on the dumb stuff, and it doesn't seem like much at once. But when you add it up, $200 a month, almost $2,500 a year, you could have paid a bill. Again, I know a guy, not wasn't me. Unless you guys know that story, then it was me. But yeah, process over outcome. It's the hardest shift to make, but it is the shift that we must make. Jessica says, how did you come out of that state? I'm sorry, Jessica, I've been rambling for so long. I forgot what state I was in. What state are we referring to? And then we'll take our break after that. I get on these rants and have like outer body experiences. I start floating back to my old self and I start punishing, stupid Akil, stupid Akil. When you were down and wanted to get out of trading. Funny, how did I get out of that state? This is a funny story. I don't like admitting it because I don't believe in the word. I don't believe in myself believing that I would ever give up, but I gave up. Again, if you ask me out of this rant, I'm going to say no. I never give up because that's the athlete in me. Like you can line me up against Usain Bolt, and I'm going to tell you I'm going to win in a race. Like that's just my blind confidence. Even though if I know I'm not to, but yeah, I gave up. And when I gave up, I told myself, hey, you know what? My trading coach said I should just focus on the process and do things the right way and worry about trading psychology. And if I do that, then I'll be a consistently profitable trader, right? So I did audit myself, and I did see that I was losing money, not because of my system, but because of myself. Like, it was mistakes that were killing me. I did an A/B test on my trading. And I decided, like, I was all out. I didn't think I was going to be good at trading. I had, like, probably 6 months left to, like, live off trading before, like, my nest egg was done. So I just said, like, I'm going to do things the right way. And then I'm going to write, like, a mean email to my trading coach saying that I did everything you said I would do, and it still didn't work. You're a fraud, right? And, you know, lo and behold, you start doing things the right way, you start getting the right results, and what do you know? The story was, and many of you guys noticed, and we'll take a break right after this, was I decided to limit my mistakes. So if I was making 20 mistakes a month, which was probably about accurate at the time, my goal in January was to make 19. And then let's say I made 17 in January, my goal in February is to make 16. So one less mistake a month, and then try not to make the same mistake twice. So it was a little game I played with myself where I was grading myself on the process of the trade, like good trade, bad trade. And the goal was to just playing the game, don't make mistakes. And I had many trades that I took where I'm like, this is a stupid trade, but I'm going to take it anyway, right? Because I was going to tell my coaches that they were dumb and that the stuff didn't work. And I did that for a few months, and I think it was like April. I think the March statement came in. March or April statement, one of those two came in, and in the statement, there weren't parentheses around my my P&L. Parentheses, if you guys are not familiar, means you lost money. Lots of parentheses. And I remember emailing my broker back, and I'm like, hey man, you sent me the wrong statement because this guy made money, and I don't make money. And then they emailed me back, Akil Stokes, account number, blah 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 blah. Yeah, this is your correct statement. I said, what the hell? Like, I'm profitable. And then it clicked. I'm like, wait a minute. I've been following the process, and I made profit. Wait a minute, it works. And I never looked back. I'm like, wait a minute, this works. I never looked back from there. So that was pretty cool. But I remember seeing it because I'm so conditioned, like brokerage statement, how much did I lose this month? Like, writing it down and put it into my own Excel spreadsheet. And like, they got, I'm like, what? What? Profit? What? like when you check your bank account and there's something new in there, you don't know where it came from. You're like, what? Should I tell anyone? Like, did they make a mistake? Was there an accounting error? Like, you get like a bonus with your paycheck. It's one of those type deals. Like, why does it? Should I? Huh? What? So, yeah, never looked back from then. That was a game changing moment. That's when I started to believe. I fully believed. I fully believe, and I gave myself to the process. I gave my life to the process, and I haven't looked back since. So, yeah, proud about that. But yeah, very, very dark times before that. Very dark times. Jeff says it's also important not to hit yourself in the head. It's okay to make mistakes as long as and that's the thing I learned from it is, I mean, to this day, like, my goal is to be a perfect trader. But as human beings, we're imperfect. Like, we are not perfect as humans, right? And this is what we say, like, when you go through the back testing process, and you have your numbers and you have your expectations, your realistic trading isn't going to be the same as your back testing, right? Because there's going to be errors. Like, as human beings, guess what? We're going to see a 6 and we're going to write an 8. You're going to put a sell limit instead of a buy limit by accident. You're going to confuse the euro dollar for the pound dollar. You're going to sleep in one day and miss your alarm, and you miss some trading opportunities. You're going to be sick. You're going to go on vacation, right? The list goes on, right? And there's always going to be something that stops us from perfection. I think it's okay. I think it's good to kind of strive for perfection. But like Jessica said, at the end of the day, we need to be honest. And to this day, I still make mistakes. Now, again, like I mentioned, I think what's important is that the type of mistake, right? We want to limit the. And it's okay to make them at first, but as we get closer to perfection, we want to limit the purposeful mistake. Meaning, I want to limit the mistake where I'm looking at something and I know I shouldn't do it, right? Mom says, Akil, I'm leaving the house. I just baked a batch of cookies. don't you touch them, right? And I know I'm not supposed to do it. Then mom leaves and I'm like, cookies, right? We want to limit those. But it's okay to have the mistakes like I mentioned earlier, where it's like Jessica enters a breakout trade, right? Because she doesn't want to miss it. And then checks back later and it shows that, oh man, there's another level of structure looking left I didn't see, and it didn't actually break out from that level. And you write down, hey, I rushed through my analysis. I should have looked left. I didn't see this, right? That's an okay mistake. And then you journal it, you write it down, you try not to let it happen again. So you're 100% right. Because if you beat yourself up for mistakes, you're going to be in a bad psychological place. Write it down, learn from it, try not to let it happen again. We are human, most of us. Just don't consistently make the same mistake. That's where we get in trouble. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you're serious about becoming a trader, and if you want to become a good one, I recommend checking out our website, www.tier1trading.com. We are represented in Forbes magazine as being the leaders in trading innovation when it comes to educational services. So check us out. Start with the 14-day risk-free trial membership. Get on the platform, download some software, meet the community, take some courses, join some live sessions, and see if we're the right fit for you before you make any type of commitment. That's www.tier1trading.com, and I'll see you guys next episode.